Joining me now to discuss the international response to the crisis unfolding in Aleppo is Baroness Valerie Amos, the former UN Undersecretary General for Humanitarian Affairs. And of course, she's been to Syria many times. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And of course, you have been a UK government minister as well. So to put all this into perspective, as a humanitarian, how do you think these evacuations are going to go? We saw that they failed the first day and they've even been somewhat under fire today. Do you think people are going to get out, 50,000 trapped people?
Well, I hope so, but I'm not 100% confident. We've seen this before. We've seen firing on people who are trying to get people out. We've seen firing on people coming out. We've seen people rounded up afterwards, particularly men and boys. So there's been a terrible history in relation to all of this. And we've seen other examples where the Syrian government has basically used siege and starvation as a way of getting people to submit. It's an appalling situation.
Do you have any fear? I mean, you've just sort of mentioned it, but could they be keeping those men back? We don't really know whether the fighters are going to be allowed out. As far as we know, the most urgently, desperately wounded, those in desperate need, have been amongst the first who've been allowed out.
And that's what we have to hope, that the vulnerable, the families, and then the fighters will be allowed out. And you have to take it step by step. But I can imagine that those people, the ICRC, the UN, I think the World Health Organization are there, those who are overseeing this are going to be worried every single step of the way.
Can I put to you questions about the world's response? You know, you wrote more than a year ago, shortly before you retired from this particular position, for the Washington Post, you said, "I've visited Syria 7 times and have talked to Syrian refugees on numerous trips to Lebanon, Jordan, Iraq, and Turkey. During every visit, I was asked the same thing. Why has the world abandoned us? Why does nobody care?" And we've been seeing these very words on these desperate people's social media and all the postings they've been doing over this last week as they thought they were going to be slaughtered in their homes. Why has the world abandoned them? Because it has.
I just feel so strongly that we failed. We saw that unedifying spectacle at the UN Security Council earlier this week, with, as it were, the trading of insults.
Do you mean Samantha Power and Vitaly Churkin?
And the world watching and thinking, what is going on when people are dying, when we desperately need the United States and Russia to actually come together at the Security Council? And we have not seen that. We saw it a couple of times on the humanitarian stuff. We saw it on chemical weapons. But we have not been able to see it to get an agreement for a political transition.
Is there any hope in heck that that would have ever been able to happen? I mean, the Russians vetoed just about every resolution that was put forth. Bashar Assad refused to negotiate or engage at all with the opposition, even when they came kicking and screaming in good faith to the Geneva process.
But Christiane, we did have that moment last year and towards the beginning of this year when we really saw John Kerry and Lavrov involved in a sort of almost shuttle diplomacy, when they spent a lot of time together, when it was clear that the two of them seemed, and we all hoped, seemed to be working towards finding some kind of solution. And it didn't work. There are lots of others. There's Iran, there's Turkey, there's Saudi Arabia. There are so many that are involved in this conflict. And that's just at the government level that, yes, we had that moment of hope. It wasn't necessarily going to work. That should have happened so much earlier.
And there are many people, and I asked Ben Rose, the President Obama's Deputy National Security Advisor, and their sort of slogan, their mantra has been, we couldn't do anything. Out of a bad set of options, this is all we had. No, we haven't failed, we've done our best, etc. But the truth of the matter is, as you say, diplomacy should have started so much earlier. In 2012, and particularly in 2013, when there was the red line over the chemical weapons, there was an opportunity to reverse this trend. As a British parliamentarian and a former government minister, when you look back and you see how the Labour Party MPs refused to allow Cameron to actually take action because of chemical weapons, wasn't that a massive failure?
I think it's hard to see it like that because we don't actually know what would have happened. Now, from my perspective...
But airfields could have been bombed, planes didn't have to take off.
But from my perspective, I think that you do have to take risks to try to actually change something in a conflict like that. And we've seen many other conflicts where you can move to a transition, you can move to a more peaceful solution when risks are taken. Now, I've seen the impact of intervention. I'm not going to say that intervention is always right or should be the first thing that any governments should think about.
Or always wrong. You were in a government, Tony Blair, who intervened in Kosovo, and they're free
wrong.
there.
And so I think to rule out intervention just because there have been bad examples where it hasn't worked is not the right thing to do. But what I always say is that intervention has to be part of a broader strategy. So there is absolutely no reason why intervention as part of a broader strategy may not have changed something in this conflict. But I can't look back and say, absolutely, it would have done. But what I do remember in 2013 is that the Syrian government were not allowing me in for a very long time. When it got to that point of the red line, they very quickly changed their tune and wanted me to visit. Now...
So pressure was working.
So thinking that having sort of one person, the humanitarian coordinator, as a human shield, I mean, that was never going to work. But from my perspective, it was interesting to see how quickly they went from, no, you cannot visit, to yes, you can, because they came under pressure. They were absolutely ruthless. They continue to be absolutely ruthless. They've had a very clear strategy all along. And what we're seeing is that strategy being worked through.
That's right. Baroness Amos, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.